Khan live report sabo.
General briefing on 2-3 issues, and then
Thank you, Lima. Thank you, Renchamo, for joining us, and senior officers, friends from the media. This one or these ones? Okay. Firstly, let me apologize for being unreachable for the past 2-3 days for you. And you all know what you were calling me for. Even I knew why you were calling me for, but sort of did not want to interact with you without having any facts or details. Okay. So the first issue that we want to address is about that viral video about the quality of shoe. We have done an preliminary analysis of things, because it's not a very sida thing. It's a very cumbersome thing that how we handle all this supplies and rations and supplies to our units and Jawans. Firstly, you would all recollect that I had done a Facebook live with my staff. It was essentially meant for the police Jawans and staff, but we knew that people had joined in. So if you would recollect, even there I had said that if any of our staff or Jawans or anyone has any grievance, please address it to us. Don't go to the media. Because we think that we have vibrant mechanisms in place where we can address all such issues. So whoever has done it was wrong in the first place. He should have addressed it to us. But the crux of the matter is that there is an issue which has been raised and it needs to be addressed. There is a problem which has been raised. It needs to be addressed. So I'll briefly tell you what we have come to know. See, the rations and supplies, the supplies of uniform articles and all, it is a continuous process based on requirements sent by the units and our own assessments. Sometimes the items remain undistributed for various reasons. Now I'll not go into the reasons. They remain undistributed for various reasons. So what we have ascertained is that the latest supplies of shoes, in this case I'm saying, we got sometime this year, which was cleared by the line committees and all in August and distributed thereafter. So none of the current installment of shoes, the new installment or supplies is in question. That is the first thing. Okay, the fresh supply which has taken place this year is not in question for its quality. That is one thing. Nevertheless, you have all seen the video, so there is a problem. So what we think as of now is that you would all realize, even I have realized this in my personal life, that certain items, certain perishable commodities like shoes, if they are kept in stores for a long time, especially when the climate is humid, the sole and the leather, it just wears off. Okay. So we are currently not casting aspersions on anyone. It is unfair on our part to cast aspersions on anyone about the quality. We will have a look at it. What is the consignment which was the lot which is in question? So we are having a look at it. We would not like to cast aspersions on anyone as of now that the quality was bad. Yes, we know that some part of the rubber soling and all was coming off from the video what we have seen, but this also happens with our own shoes which we purchase even for 3,000 rupees if it's kept in the almirahs for 6 months, 7 months. So first thing that we need to ascertain here is this current lot of shoes which is in question, or the particular sample which was in question, when was its date of supply to us? Okay. So we have not been able to ascertain with certainty the person who has posted the video. If any one of you has the details, please share with us. Once we come to know, we'll be able to find out more about what is the lot or the year of supply. But because that will determine whether the quality of the shoe was really bad or how old was that consignment. Okay. Meanwhile, to make things better in the department and for the supplies, we have had a detailed consultation in the PHQ, and we will try to improve a few things. So firstly, we've initiated an exercise of existing stocks, old stocks, and we have requested or directed the unit commanders not to supply at least the perishable items from the old stocks, okay? Because we don't want a confusion there. So whatever is the fresh supply from there, it will be done. So it's a new thing. I don't think it will be a problem with the new items. But if there is a problem, then we will look at it. So my request to my own Jawans and officers is that if you have a problem, please address it to us. It is just possible that one sample may be bad. It is just possible that an entire lot may be bad. So we will address it at that level if it is brought to our notice. One odd video on the Facebook probably doesn't put everything into the right perspective. Currently, we have a system where all the supplies which are received, they are matched for their quality and quantity. Okay, so there are line committees which exist which are formed at the PHQ level for the supplies at the central store, and subsequently similar line committees are there at the unit levels. Okay, we have had a discussion in the police headquarters with the senior officers, and we have decided that the composition of these line committees will be expanded at both levels, which means, see, if the supplies are from a rank of NC to a sub-inspector, we will try to include people from those ranks in those committees so that the actual consumer is able to see what is being supplied to us. So this will be done at both the levels. Hopefully things will improve much further with this. Now, I'm not saying supplies are excellent. I'm not even saying they are bad or someone is doing it deliberately. From our side, what we can do is put checks and mechanisms in place. So that's what we are doing. Another issue is, as I said, that it could be old stock which has been issued to someone, either deliberately or by mistake or by oversight. So firstly, we will not issue the old stocks. Secondly, we are carrying out an exercise that if there are old stocks, if we can close down the old stocks to a particular central point and maybe think of a destruction of the old stock so that this confusion can be averted. Okay, so this is the update about the supply part of it. I'll answer your questions if you have any, and if I can answer later on. The second part is about the war against drugs and the law and order situation in the state. By and large, the law and order situation in the state remains good. There have been a few instances, there have been a few accidents, fatal accidents in the last month or so. We will see if we can engage with other stakeholders and try to improve things in traffic checking and all. Some of these accidents have taken place in some remote areas where it's not always possible to have police checking also, but we will involve other stakeholders, have consultations. There have been a few cases of rape, yes, it is bad that rapes have taken place, but we as police officers can't possibly get into the heads of all the accused persons, their minds, and prevent rapes or murders. If there is a known rivalry which is leading to a clash or a murder or a riot or something, we can possibly handle it. But if it is like one-off incident, I don't think it will be fair to say that police is not doing its job. We are trying our best to do whatever we can. And any suggestions for improving things will be welcome. There are two other issues which engage the attention of everyone in Nagaland. One is extortion, the other is drugs. On the front of extortion, we've had reasonable success. Decent number of people, about 23-24 people have been arrested in the extortion cases all over Nagaland. We realize, as you would also realize, that people who are under threat, legally the definition of extortion is if you put someone in fear and take money from him. Okay, so fear is an essential element of extortion. So the presumption has to be that from whichever person extortion is taking place, he is so afraid that he is not willing to come and report to the police. Okay, either in person or share information with anyone. So most of these cases, I would say that wherever extortion has been stopped, it is suo motu action by the police or on our own initiative. I think everybody in the media and the public needs to laud this effort by the police, because police is proactively searching for people who are indulging in extortion. Today, during this function, during this media briefing, we'll be later on launching an app for extortion and drugs to enable people to help us. Just have a bit of patience during this session. The second thing is about drugs. Nagaland Police has been making decent progress with regard to drugs. I would, my friend SP Narcotics, Amit, will take us through a PowerPoint presentation which we have prepared for the media on this. But a few things that I would just like to mention before he takes over, that we've been receiving decent cooperation and help from the public, members of the public, not entire public obviously, members of the public, some civil society organizations and individuals, where they have been sharing information with us about criminals or about addicts and peddlers. So that's why we made a decent progress. Some issues need clarification with regard to CSOs, which Amit will deal with during his presentation. I would like to mention that our own mechanisms within the police department have been strengthened. Firstly, we have said that any of our own officers who wants to catch a criminal and is thinking that he is having a source with whom he can deal with, he needs to inform his senior officers that he is dealing with someone whom he calls a source. Because otherwise what happens is sometimes the sources take us for a ride. Okay, and our own people get embroiled in problems and controversies as if they are doing the trafficking. For an ordinary man doesn't understand. He thinks that police is doing the trafficking, whereas the policeman is doing his own job properly in a lot of cases. So we've tried to put mechanisms in place where our own officers who are trying to do a job of prevention of drug trafficking, they would need to take their senior officers into confidence about and inform them that they are doing this particular thing, so that we are aware and we can protect them if it is required. And if they are not doing it with our consent, we will take action against them. The second thing that we have done is we've issued, we had prepared a preliminary list of persons of Nagaland Police who are substance abusers. So we have issued notices to them saying that you are unable to perform duties, or because of this habit of yours, you are not in a position to effectively perform your duties. We've asked them for reasons. We've asked them to go to the rehab or we will initiate action. So I have not compiled figures as of now because the notice period is still there. But I was told informally that at least in one unit around a decent number of people, around 30 people, have already availed rehab facilities. So the idea is not to just chuck them out, but give them an opportunity. If they want to reform themselves, we are happy with them. That if they are not able to reform themselves, then we should not be carrying deadwood, number one, non-performers, or people who bring a bad name either to the Nagaland Police or to the government. The third thing is about pending departmental cases against the people who have been arrested for cases of various cases, various crimes or misconduct. So we have a list, but we are concentrating primarily on the cases in which there is drug abuse or drug trafficking or involvement in drugs. Me and Renchamo, we are personally monitoring the progress on the departmental inquiries, and we get a report every Friday. So some of you, if you know how the departmental inquiries work, is that You say, okay, next date, this hearing will be on the next date. So earlier the next date was loose and open-ended. There was no date given. Now we started fixing dates that in this date we will fix the next date of the hearing also. So it is a time-bound thing where we feel that the action against the delinquent officers or who have engaged in crimes or misconduct is taken in a time-bound manner. I can give you this. We can give them this handout. This one. Yeah, there are no names here, but we can give you this handout later on at the end of this conference. So, so total number of suspended personnel is about 43. 43. We've compulsorily retired one person because of drug abuse and drug related problem, and we've dismissed seven persons during the past 2-3 months because of their involvement in either drug trafficking or drug abuse, and this effort will continue in future also. Whoever is involved, we will see. We don't know the persons who have done it, in the sense we know the names, but it is not based on a tribe or a thing. It is based on a crime or a misconduct that they've done. So there is not going to be any leniency on this count. So just want to again send a message to all our police personnel saying that if you are doing it, please stop it. Either reform or perish. That is the only thing which can happen. We cannot, because of a few bad rotten apples, we cannot have the entire police force or the entire Nagaland government getting a bad name. So we'll hand you over this handout. Another thing is, which I always say, that a lot of people in Nagaland and in the society know who are taking drugs, who is taking drugs. The fear of the khaki is such that people will not inform us. I request everybody to inform us about any trafficker or any drug user also, even if it is your own family member, because if you inform us, there are enough legal safeguards that they will not be caught, or if they are caught, if they go to the rehab, we will take a lenient view of them. Okay, but if we catch them, so it's better to reach out to the police first. If we reach out to you, then there is no mercy. So it is our request that even if family members or anyone in the society that you know of, you are a well-wisher of someone, please inform us. If you also tell us that, sir, please, this person is my own son or a daughter, please don't take action against that person, but do something. We will try to act against the person who is supplying drugs to that person. Okay, we want to demolish and destroy the supply chain and not basically only punish people. So please help us. Our own cleanup action in Nagaland police is based on the dictum that Caesar's wife needs to be above suspicion. We need to be clean in order to clean up the rest. Still, it doesn't mean that we are just cleaning ourselves up. It is not that we are just cleaning ourselves up. We are trying to clean up as much as possible, but we need to be cleaner than the rest. So this is my briefing for the time being. I'll request Amit to go through his briefing on the drugs, and later on with Michael and all we'll launch. We'll come to the questions later on at the end.
Respected PGT sir, PG Adam sir, IGP range, IGP headquarters, other senior officers, and my friends from media. This PPT is basically for the briefing on what Nagaland police is doing since last 3 months, what we have achieved. After that, to give you an idea that NDPS Act, how stringent is this act, so that you can make people aware and be away from such activities. And then passing on some general guidelines, do's and don'ts for the general public that you can make people aware of. So first I will just give a brief idea about the performance in last 3 months. last
You need not note down, we will circulate this also. We will share this PPT. We just have a look, we will circulate.
in last 3 months we have seized ganja about 139 kgs, opium around 28 kgs, heroin around 5 kgs, brown sugar more than 1 kg, Yaba tablets 5,750, synthetic drugs which mainly covers the gastric capsules and all, more than 20,000. Cough syrup we have seized around 2,400 bottles. This contraband is having like different market value in different states and on international space, but roughly we have taken its value to be around 25 crores. So this is the seizure that we have made in last 3 months. For the month of September also, like we have made a big recoveries, but that data has not been included in this list because this data will only up to the month of August. In this connection, about 133 cases have been registered and 157 persons have been arrested. Other than law enforcement, what Nagaland police is focusing is on different aspects, like various DEF units, our district executive force units, are focusing on ensuring that they are creating some awareness campaigns, because prevention of crime is also one of our duties. So they are working in coordination with the civil society and the public to create awareness about the drug abuse and to stop. And then, like Nagaland police has also started one thing that before reaching out to public that they should stop doing these kind of activities. First, we have targeted that we will clean our system first. So Nagaland police is ensuring that whosoever are the people who are the drug addicts in the force. First, in first stage, we are trying to identify them, that who are those people. Second stage, we are providing them opportunity, that like if we want to come out of this. Because NDP Act itself provides an opportunity that if someone wants to go to rehab, then he should not be punished. So we are also providing them opportunity that if you want to go for rehab, then it will be taken in that spirit and we will allow you to come to the mainstream. But still, if somebody is still not doing all those things, and departmental actions are being initiated, and also in some cases criminal proceedings are also being initiated. Other than that, we are today launching Made in Nagaland platform, which is a like website also and app also that will be taken over by my colleague in next session. On that platform, you can just provide your information, complaints, with the option of your anonymity about any kind of drug activity, NDPS, or any kind of extortion also. Then I would like to just give basic idea about the NDPS Act, because like most of the people in Nagaland, because we are dealing with law enforcement, and what we are finding that people are not even aware that what they are doing or how stringent is this act, that this act can spoil their life forever. So this act is such a stringent where punishment is ranging from 1 year up to 20 years. And if it is second time conviction, then it may lead to even death penalty. Then not only this main accused, but person, any kind of person who in any kind is helping them, abetting them, they are equally liable under this act, and they shall also be facing the same punishment under this act. Help, like this includes like someone is financing, somebody is providing them money, somebody is providing them vehicle for transportation, or somebody is providing them premises to store or to hide the contraband or to those people. So they all are equally liable under this act. Besides, like somebody usually is found that okay, I will provide you the contact of seller or I will provide you the contact of buyer. Just maintaining the communication between the buyer and seller, that is equally liable to be punished under this act. Then not just you have done the act, only after that you will be punished. Even if somebody is trying, even if somebody is attempting to that act, that is equally punishable. The people who are making properties, the people who are making money out of these acts, their property is liable to be forfeited under this NDPS Act. The one good thing about this act is that the act sees the drug users, the drug addicts as victims itself. The act provides them opportunity that if they want to join back the mainstream, then no legal action shall be taken against them, provided that they opt to go for the rehab facilities. Now we will share some basic guidelines, some basic do's and don'ts that usually when we are going in field, we are finding that people are either doing something or not doing something that they should have done. So just to make people aware, like first, everyone should be vigilant about their locality, what is happening in their locality. Is there any such person, such drug abuser or such trafficker is existing in their area? They should remain vigilant. If they have any such kind of information, they should immediately provide this information to the police. Then, like usually this is the act where we require the support of public a lot. If public can come out, they can like help us by engaging in the police procedures like witnessing or helping us in the raids, then this act can be more strongly enforced. So they can help us. Then another thing, while dealing with such cases, we have found that a lot of recoveries are being made from the taxis that are flying between various districts or from between the states. And usually we find that taxi drivers are not even aware that what was being carried in their taxi. So they need to be vigilant that what kind of passenger is traveling in their taxi, or what kind of luggage they are carrying, or sometimes they are providing something that please take this and deliver it to next, we will pay some money. So they have to be vigilant about these kind of activities. Then as a society, we all need to encourage that the drug addicts are encouraged to go for rehab centers and join the mainstream. In this regard, like civil society organizations can also organize their own awareness campaigns. And then if you know any such kind of activity happening, immediately you can inform police. Today we are launching one app also, WhatsApp also, or any kind of platform you can use and reach out to us. And these are the things that public is not supposed to do. Like first is do not arrest, detain any trafficker by yourself without prior information to police. What is happening nowadays, various kind of CSOs are proactively going that we will arrest this person because he is involved. But such kind of activities may land you in trouble because any such activity without the prior information of police may be taken as the illegal detention, illegal confinement, and accordingly an FIR can be registered against that person. Besides, many times we are hearing that civil society organizations or even some complaints that police is releasing some people by taking some fine. There is no such provision of releasing any person based on the fine. No one can collect such fine. There is no provision. If somebody is doing that, that is clearly extortion, and if that is reported, then definitely that will be taken under the extortion. Then usually we are finding that many places we are finding the vehicle checkings are being done, in the name of reducing the drug supplies or even the liquor to say, but that is not allowed as per law. That powers are available only with the police or other law enforcement agencies, and those powers are provided by the law. Other than that, no civil person can exercise these powers, and if somebody is trying to exercise these powers, then definitely it is a violation of law, and that person may be dealt according to law and may be punished. Then usually we are finding that people sometimes try to maintain contacts with drug traffickers, drug abusers, but when we try to investigate, these people's name come up, then we have to, we don't have any option but to call them to police stations and to interrogate. So that may cause inconvenience, and if strong relations are established, then definitely the name can also be involved in the case based on the suspicion that they were involved in these kind of activities. So if any such kind of persons are making any plans, so never be part of any such kind of plan. Their travel plans, their stay plans, just be away from that, and do not directly engage with those people, like any arrest, seizure that I have already told. And usually what we find that mobile is today a very crucial thing. Many times people just allow their mobile to be used by a third person, and during our investigation we find that the mobiles some particular mobile phone was used, and then they just claim their innocence that we were not even aware, we have not made any calls, but we cannot trust you because that was mobile. That was your personal mobile and that was supposed to be used by you. And if somebody else is using, then you should know who has used it. And if you are not able to provide any satisfactory reply, so that may land you in trouble. So better that you do not allow your mobile phones to be used by unknown persons. Then usually we find that people just allow the random strangers or their far relatives or distant friends to stay at their residence, even when they know that they may be involved in such kind of activities. Such kind of shelter may be treated as harboring of offenders. Harboring itself is an equal offence in the NDPS Act. So in that also people may be punished. And then the transport, usually what people say, this is the parcel, just carry it for me. People from Dimapur will say, okay, you are going to Tunzang, just carry this parcel to me, some of my friend will collect. But when you don't know what is inside the parcel, definitely if in later stage someone seizes that material and it is found that it is NDPS, definitely you will also be punished. So all these are the things that you are not supposed to do. And by utilizing this platform through our media friends, I expect that this information is shared to the common public so that they can maintain the basic do's and don'ts. I have not shared any technicalities that common public is not aware of or they are not able to understand. Just basic do's and don'ts, and they can save themselves to be landing in trouble and help us in ensuring better law enforcement. So thanks a lot. Now I would request my colleague to take over the session for next part.
See, about the mobile phones, I just wanted to interject and till the time Michael joined us. We have come across many instances where co-passengers are there. One of them is a trafficker, the other is not aware of what is happening. So this trafficker will deliberately not use his or her mobile phone and use the mobile phone of the other person. So this lands both of them in trouble. So people should not allow others to use their mobile phones, especially if there is a suspicion or something. And the second thing about mobile phones is now we have a lot of these UPI apps. Please don't allow your phones or your UPI linked bank accounts for receiving or sending any money. Okay, if you are not sure who is the person who is receiving the money or sending the money or the purpose, please don't allow. This is my request to the public. Because if we find out that there is even one transaction of 20,000 or 5,000 rupees where it has been done with the consent and for drugs, the entire bank account and the money can be seized because of that. Okay, so it's always better to be careful in this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Respected DGP, senior officers, and media hosts present here. Today I'll be giving a small presentation made in Nagaland, which is a movement against drugs and extortion in Nagaland. This Nagaland is a platform where the public, where you may be a victim, that is complainant, or you may be an informant, can give information to the police regarding drugs and extortion. Considering this digital capabilities that we have, it is in such that online complaints may be given so that there will be no hassles for the public also in coming to the police station physically. Two types of complaints for informants we can have. The first one is like anonymous, where you don't share your name or your address. The second one is non-anonymous, where you can share your details also. Whether you are giving your complaint anonymous or non-anonymous also, the information that is shared with us is secure. There is a backend server where your information will not be given to the public or anybody. This information is kept secret and confidential. There are two ways in which the informant or the complainants can register here. One is this Made in Nagaland app. This will be given out in Google Play Store also, where you can download. Presently, the website, the URL is given. This is functional. from now itself you can visit this URL and check it out also, and maybe test our website also. And if there's any issue, you can also get back to us and we can clear the bugs if there's any. And in this, we have the provision of WhatsApp also. You can contact us by WhatsApp through the app or through the website also. And in the website, you can contact us. We have given the links for Twitter and Facebook, which you can contact us. For giving a complaint or information to the police, for the complainant, you can give your name, address, or phone number, and also the details of the drugs or the UG groups or the extortion amount that you have received. Regarding the suspects, if you have name, phone number, address, photographs, videos, or any audio also, or any other relevant information, this can be uploaded to us also. The more information that you have, it will be helpful to for us also. We have this app interface, the website page, which is similar. Here we have put the asterisks, but there's no compulsory field. You can fill up any information as one, and if you don't have the other information, still you can register your complaint. One important thing which I would like to point out is the suspect phone number. If you have the suspect phone number or the suspect videos or the suspect pictures, this will be very crucial for us also. And in the nature of in the description, you can also give a brief synopsis or a description regarding the nature of the crime or the offense that has been committed. The problems of drugs and extortion in Nagaland has been going on for a very long time, and I believe it is our collective conscience and endeavor to ensure that our society is free of all these malicious activities. So this Made in Nagaland is a simple interface which is developed for the public to communicate with us and to augment our efforts in controlling this issue of drugs and extortion. Further, it is our sincere hope that the media will give wide publicity for this app also, to ensure that the public are aware of this both in print media and social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. We'll take a few questions. Please don't ask very uneasy ones.
Sir, I'd like to start with a very basic one then.
Yeah.
With regard to the software that you're launching, why is it being Made in Nagaland? Because there's already the Made in Nagaland center that sells products in Nagaland and is non-nationwide.
It is just like movement against drugs and extortion. That is why it is made. So none of the fields is mandatory. That's the most important thing there. Okay, none of the fields is mandatory, but as much of the information as can be provided, all the more better.
Sir, I have two questions. One is regarding extortion. Sir, you have mentioned that there has been a reasonable success with regard to extortion, and 23 to 24 people have been arrested in Nagaland. So, are you mentioning that of like a week or a month? Because I think 23 to 24 is like too less when you look into the entire state of
One
Nagaland.
quarter. This is just one quarter. June, July, August.
June, July, August. Okay, sir. The second question is regarding the recent accident that took place under Mon district. The situation in Sonari is very tense and people are stranded, from people coming from Mon and also people going to Mon or any other area who has to go to Nagaland on that route. Situation escalated last night, you must be well aware. So would you like to give any clarity, because especially because the Assam media are projecting that the two individuals had died under mysterious circumstances, and people are stranded from both sides, especially the Nagas.
Yeah. Yes, I had a briefing with Jammu with me yesterday night, so I'll just tell you what has happened. So you're all aware of the accident that took place. So within the Nagaland social media groups and newspapers, this is no secret what happened. So it was a very terrible accident where people died. So normally, as per procedures, in case of an unnatural death, a postmortem is held. Okay. So, in this particular case, in the normal circumstances, the postmortem would have been held. So we discussed with me and ADG Adam, we discussed with the police and also had a word with the police in Mon, and the Mon police discussed with the surgeon, with the administration and the CMO. So what apparently happened is that the preliminary objection from the Assam side was that there was no postmortem done, and because of that they are suspecting that there is foul play. Right, sort of putting the cart before the horse. The death had already taken place, and the postmortem is the only thing which is in question. In this case, as per the doctors who were there, they said that a postmortem, which means a cutting of the abdomen and all, okay, to ascertain the cause of death. So they kept the cavities basically. It can be the head or it can be the abdomen and thoracic cavities and all. A regular postmortem is apparently only required if the cause of death is otherwise not apparent. Okay. So in this case, the injuries to the head was apparent enough to the doctor that he did not think that there is a need to cut the abdomen. Okay. So this is the So this is the primary reason. So the Assam police or the Assamese people, they are saying that they should have done the postmortem. So the doctor in Mon said that cause of death was very apparent because of the injury to the head. The head was apparently smashed very badly. So that is why he has not done the regular postmortem of cutting the abdomen. So I personally, I don't think there is any foul play in this or there is any attempt to hide anything. However, it is a professional call for the doctors to take. We are not the professional people who will take a call on this. I think even if probably the Assamese public who are agitated about this unfortunate accident, if they were to consult doctors on their own side, the doctors would concur with the doctors on the Nagaland side that there is no foul play and what the doctor has done is fine. However, like to rule out foul play, even at this stage, there is nothing which prevents the Assamese government or the people there from undertaking a postmortem. Okay, so I would request the people in Sonari and Assam that we are aware that the accident happened and the person was brought dead. So there is no murder or a conspiracy probably there. The only extra thing probably, I'm saying probably, I'm not sure, which a postmortem could have revealed or would have revealed is whether the driver or whoever the deceased person was under the influence of any intoxicants or something, which could have been a cause of death. Okay. So that's the only thing which would have come out with, besides the injury. So I don't think there is any foul play, but I think the Assam police and the Nagaland police, the Mon SP and SP Charaidev, they can sit together and take a call on this, and I don't think this is a big issue. I would request the people in Assam that I don't think there is foul play. Causing inconvenience to a large number of people may not be a good thing to do because it spoils relations on both sides.
So, sir, are you in touch with the counterpart police? Because a lot of people are stranded in Dimapur, and from the other side, there is fear that they might be hurt on the way, or they might be some kind of situation.
Yes, the SP Mon and the SP Sonari may be in touch, but it is being handled more at the district level, the DC's level. So appropriate advisories and all have been issued for the time being to people not to travel through Assam. These are like emotional issues. We couldn't take every criminal or every bad person to do it. One person will throw a stone and it will go away. So precaution is advised in such circumstances.
Sir, the Government of India have extended AFSPA with effect from 1st of October. So apart from the 18 police stations all over across the state, according to your department, according to the Nagaland police, are those areas still very vulnerable, or is there any likelihood that those areas can also be lifted from this act?
Sarah, let me put it this way. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act and the disturbed areas are declared by the Government of India. Okay, we are firstly a part of the Government of India machinery in total. Secondly, their sources of information are not just Nagaland government and Nagaland police. They have multiple other agencies and sources of information based on which they take a decision. So our information could just be half-baked as compared to what they know. So, and I would not want to question the wisdom of the Government of India if they have done it. However, if the situation improves, I can assure you that if the situation improves, more police station areas or jurisdiction could be taken out of the AFSPA. And we all know that in the last 6 months, 3 have been taken out. So if the things improve further, more will be taken out.
Coming back to that Solari Mon incident, yesterday I spoke to the SP Mon, and he mentioned that postmortem was conducted. So what you're saying to do is contradictory.
No, it is this astonished people who are saying so. It's a sort of a technical thing in the sense that without cutting a postmortem, without like sort of actually dissecting also, it could have been, the report could have been given. So I'm not aware of that part of it because the objection has come from Assam. And what they have said is that the abdomen was not cut off. That is what they have said. You know, post-mortem literally means post-death, you know. So what is the procedure to be followed post-death is the thing. And I'm, honestly, we are in no position to comment on what procedure they would follow. There are doctors.
Just to supplement what Abhijit had said, the primary objection which the family of the deceased had raised was that when the dead body was handed over to them, they found that the one was not cut. And traditionally, what we associate with the post-mortem examination is that the abdomen has to be cut off. But it was the informed decision of the medical officer who was performing the post-mortem on the two dead bodies that the cause of death was so very apparent. Firstly, one of the victims, his entire head was smashed. So it was because the cause of death was because of the fracture of the head. And the second cause of death of the second person of the second disease was the fracture in the cervical and the spinal cord. So it was very evident to the doctor that the cause of death was because of this two reason. And so it is the standard operative procedure as far as the medical profession is concerned, that when the cause of death is so very apparent, it is not necessary to cut the abdomen in any post-mortem examination. So this is the stand of the medical officer who had conducted the post-mortem examination.
See, post-mortem is not necessarily just cutting open, it's an examination. An examination to ascertain the cause of death. If the cause of death is apparent, you know, so if my head is chopped off, what will a post-mortem reveal? It will reveal that he died, right? It's a different issue that someone will say that he was first intoxicated and then killed, you know, but still that the cause of death is very apparent, that it may be intoxication, but chopping off the head was. So we would probably, in the police department, leave it to the wisdom of the doctors and the medical procedures on how to conduct a post-mortem without getting into too many details on that.
Sir, regarding drugs or frisking of vehicles, we have also witnessed the incident in TZ Mon this year where one of the student leader was killed. So, sir, my question here is like, you are asking the civil society organizations or the student union to seek help from the police. And also what we have also noticed a lot is that, be it drugs or alcohol, colony people or the civil society organization, they just stand on the road, they come for checking, they frisk the vehicles, and they also charge fines. So do you think they should also, the police should also give them some kind of like awareness campaign about, the law and all, because we have heard a lot of incidents where people are fined, in terms of thousands, it's just not 1 to hundreds also. So
I agree with you 100%, Sharma. In fact, last 8 months I've been speaking on this a lot. Almost every media interaction that I have addressed, I have been saying this: please don't take law into your own hands. It's not just public and civil society or ward colony chairman or village chairman of youth organization or XYZ who is doing it. Let me put it bluntly, it is extortion. If you are taking money, it's extortion. Okay? If my own police people are taking money in the name of fine, that is also extortion. Except for traffic fines, which the police imposes, for which also a receipt is given by the police officer. Any other money which is taken by a police officer is wrong. It is extortion. And the same thing applies for the civil society and the public also. Okay? I will not go into the details, but I will tell you very, very frankly that there is some organization that we have come to know who got some ganja, and they called the accused. The accused went to them. They said, fine Divi. So they got the ganja, fine Divi. They asked for an X amount of money from him for the fine, which itself is extortion. Okay. The fellow bargains with them. They agree to X minus Y some amount. Okay. The person gives that money, X minus Y amount, to the organization, and the ganja is returned to the person. Okay, so this is not just extortion, this is illegal trafficking in drugs. You are abetting the trafficking. If you were really sincere about stopping it, firstly, fine is wrong. It is extortion under any circumstances. Okay. Second, leaving the drug after taking that money is trafficking itself. My request is, please don't do it. Gone are the days where villages will have their own jurisdictions and they will impose the writ of the law, and you will be able to enforce it. In your own small village level disputes, you will be able to do it. Not covering multiple jurisdictions, not between two villages, not between two subdivisions or two districts. How can you expect some, if there is some drug peddler who is in Pangsha and he supplies drugs in Pangsha and runs away to Dimapur, do you expect the whole village council and everyone from Pangsha to come to Dimapur to catch the person? It's not possible. We are there for this job. It is police is there for this job. Nagaland police is for the Nagas and for everyone who is resident of Nagas. Please follow the law. Don't take law into your own hands. Sarah mentioned about the Tizit incident. I have said this again and I will again repeat it, that incidents like what happened in Tizit and what happened in Chasuba the other day, I'm not getting into the details, I'm just getting into the part of two groups of people getting into a conflict. Okay? In the tenuous situation that we have in Nagaland between villages and tribes and all these things, this can lead to a major flare-up in law and order situation in Nagaland in a second. Please don't do it. Nagaland police is there, the government machinery is there. Please trust the government, please trust the Nagaland police for delivering goods for you. If sometimes the public feels that people at the ground level, whether it is a beat constable or a constable or the IRB or the Thana people, you go to them and they are not able to address the problem or not listen to you. They are unable to listen to you. Come to us. There is a mechanism of senior officers of whether the SDPO or the SP or the DIG or the DG. Now that's why we have come up with this app, that at least that barrier is broken, that people do know where to go. Please come to us, we will help you. Please abstain. I am not going to say that don't do it. I am going to say abstain from taking law into your own hands. Do cooperate with the police. It's your police. You need to strengthen the hands of the police also. Okay, please do carry this message. This is very, very important. Not just for drugs. It is for even for the peace and security in Nagaland. It is very important.
So just a suggestion. Do you think the police department should give out a notice?
Just one second. Yes, please.
So do you think the police department should give out a notice to all the CSOs and also to all the colonies, to defend from, or to at least inform the police or the district administration when they're going to go on checking on such kind of illegal things?
Yes, we can reach out by either giving notice. We can't give notice to everybody because in Nagaland people have the habit of springing up into NGOs every here and there. So how many people will we give a notice to? Okay. So the best thing to do is to interact or approach people to a media awareness campaign like this, where hopefully, and my request is that whatever we have discussed today, even if you are unable to carry it in tomorrow's edition, please do carry these things over a period of time. Just to create this awareness campaign. We will get our officers to interact with you on various issues, whether the entire group comes or individually you come. So it's impossible for us to reach out to all NGOs. We do reach out sometimes. For example, when the Manipur thing happened, we reached out to all the concerned NGOs, told them no rallies, no demonstrations, nothing like that. When we think it is required, then we reach out to the concerned people, but it's impossible to reach out to everybody. The media and the civil society should do it. We have been embarking on our own social media campaign, whether it is on Twitter or Facebook. We do put out social messages there. We will start doing this awareness campaign. But the crux of the problem is, one is what is in our head, and secondly, nobody wants that his power should be diminished. And they have sort of absorbed a lot of power to themselves. They've taken a lot of power to themselves. Nobody wants to give that power away. Actually, there is no power away. So a lot of time, it is just that I would say that some of the people are lucky that nobody is questioning it. If people were to question it, law will take its course. If you are stopping someone, beating up someone, and the person who is beaten up or his family comes to the police, we will have no option but to register FIRs and take legal action. So this message probably has to, it's not against any individual. It is just because there is a system where the government and the police are the protectors and enforcers of law. Please take them into confidence, build their confidence up. We in Nagaland police is also fledgling in that manner. Okay, so you can strengthen our hands. You strengthen our hands, we come back and strengthen your hands.
Sir,
He just raised his hand first for this.
So moving a little off tangent, we've seen how social media plays a big role in today's society, and especially the police personnel and the administration. Over the past few years, they have really been propagating that please don't spread false rumors or messages or anything that comes as a forward, which can lead to untoward incidents. Now with the advent of broadcast journalism in Nagaland, with now Nagaland having their own satellite channels, our reporters have the ability to actually go to the place of the incident and find out the ground report. But what usually happens is the police personnel that are present in the ground, when going to inquire about what really happened, somehow they always tell that it's not in their authority to speak to the media. So by the time we get the official confirmation, there's already enough messages on social media which have been unverified, and it's not from a proper source. So sir, could there be a mechanism where the journalists who are on the ground could actually receive bites from the officer that is present in the locality? Because they tell us to go talk to the PRO, but then by the time we reach the PRO, the information has already been disseminated in social media, creating a lot of fake situations. So can the sharing of information be done quite quicker, and could there be a mechanism where journalists could speak to the officer present at the ground rather than have to wait, which will unnecessarily cause more tensions and problems?
See, I don't have any preliminary objections to this. But I would suggest one small thing. In a case where you are going to report an incident, see, sometimes it's not the IG or the DIG or the SP, it's the OC who's there, okay, and he'll say, I will not speak. Or if he'll say, I off the record, it just might be a good idea for you to send us some questions in advance, okay, when you're planning to visit a scene of crime or a place. So, we will keep our officers on the field apprised that this journalist or this group of journalists will come, they will ask these questions. We can also tell them what not to say. Yeah, sometimes it's very important what not to say. What is to be said is okay, what is not to be said is equally important. So I am open to sharing you people sharing your list of questions or queries with us, and then we'll on a case-to-case basis, we will not issue blanket instructions on this because everybody is not the same even at the ground level. Whenever you have any queries, any questions to be asked, send it to us. Okay, we will send it to the concerned SP and say, please ask the ground officer whether the SDP or the OC on the ground to answer. We do that. But for this fake news, if I can say another thing, since you mentioned this, I think you are all from the print and electronic media, but there is another group of people now. I don't know whether any one of them is here, the YouTubers. With all due respect to you, before putting out a story on any issue pertaining to government, please take an official view. Okay. Even if we deny it or even if we say no, please take an official view, because a lot of you, the established journalists, they know the procedures and even how the government functions. It's just the YouTubers who don't understand the thing. This is a problem we faced with Manipur when one of the YouTubers from Chennai, even Naga boy based in Chennai, put out something and then we had to call him. You know, so we can put things in perspective. Not that always we want to hide things, but verified, authentic reports or authentic information we can give. You can carry that. Yeah.
So as far as illicit drug cases are concerned, I think modus operandi may have changed over the years. So in the past it may have been intercepting a truck or something, but with the number of cases, if we can also highlight on how the modus operandi of these cases have been, because I think it is equally important for the media and the public to know.
So the truck season has not yet come. Okay, this year the truck season has not yet come. The truck season will start sometime around November when the ganja is transported in bulk. The truck season will also come. But you know what happens is, see these drugs, especially heroin or brown sugar or opium, they are not bulky. One small quantity, but value is more. They can be carried and concealed and carried anywhere. Even on a bag you can carry. Okay. I have no problem with the MVCPs, the vehicle check posts being put temporarily, but I am not in favor of any more check gates being put for checking of the vehicle, because even at the check gates, despite the fact that sometimes chance seizures at the check gates are very huge. However, mostly at the check gates, the number of vehicles that we are able to check is hardly about, say, 10% of the total flow of traffic. Okay. So the concealed consignments can be in the same vehicle where the person is traveling. It can be in another vehicle. It can be people, one vehicle is going an escort, second is carrying something, third is carrying even more quantity. So there are multiple things. There is no one thing. If there are any modifications being made to the vehicles, if you are aware of, please share that with us, because those modifications and cavities are used to carry consignments. So it's a very diverse issue. We can't give you all examples, but I think what Amit said, that please beware of people who are traveling without any work, coming and staying with you or your relative without any purported work, who have no legitimate and known sources of income for living decent lives. I'm not saying lavish lives, decent lives. Those are the persons whom one can think of and be suspicious of. I would still say that our best bet is to start with the addicts and small-time traffickers, because they will tell us who is the next level. And then we have enough systems in policing and investigation where we can take care of that part. It's a very diverse topic. We can't go into. We haven't even probably sort of prepared a list, but I can give you 3 broad routes which are being used for Nagaland. One is the land route from Myanmar, which is primarily opium, but sometimes it is also brown sugar or heroin. That's the land route. Across the border, people just walk. The second route is from Manipur down to Dimapur, and from Dimapur it gets supplied to the rest of Nagaland. Okay. The third route is not touching Nagaland. It comes via Silchar, Mizoram and Silchar, and then comes back into Nagaland. So these are the 3 broad routes which are being used, and all of them are equally bad.
So earlier we used to, see a lot of reports of seizures being made at Kusama Gate. But with the current situation in Manipur, have the seizures come down or?
See, seizures taking place at Kusama Gate is no parameter of whether the drugs have stopped flowing. Honestly, because we will not be able to catch everyone. So that's a wrong parameter to use. But I can tell you for sure that the quantity of trafficking has not come down. Through Manipur, the quantity of trafficking has not come down. Maybe some bulk quantities being transported may have come down, say 5 kgs, 10 kgs things. But smaller quantities, say about 400 grams, 500 grams per kg coming very regularly, very regularly.
One last question. After all the drugs and extortion and accidents, I have a very offbeat question. So when is the Nagaland Police Sports Battalion likely to be initiated?
We'll have a look.
Inaugurated way back in 2021.
We will have a look about this. We have sports team which participate on behalf of Nagaland Police, and we also give our personnel on loan to various organizations who represent either Nagaland or even sometimes some village organization or all these. So we have a structure in place. It's just to give it a bit of formality, a formal structure which is lacking. There are some issues pertaining to the promotion avenues and the sports which we should include and what is to be done with them. Those are some issues which have to be considered. But I think a preliminary thing, even with the sports battalion, I think what is more important is the funding part. Okay. We could probably take a plunge with the sports battalion or a sports company, whatever name we call it, if adequate funding is specifically kept aside for that. Because within our own resources, we are not able to manage things. I'll tell you why I am saying this. We used to have an annual sports cum duty meet. Because of fund constraints, we've made it once in 2 years. Okay, and that sports fund, that for that sports meet, we don't get any official government funding. It is from our own resources. We have a system of sports fund where we deduct, say, some amount of money, about 20 rupees per month from all Jawans. Even a biennial event, our expenditure is about 90 lakh rupees. We don't have a penny for that officially. So it's all based on deductions from actually promote the sports more. It's not that we are not doing it, we could promote it much more. But currently we don't have a separate budget for this and nor a structure for this. We'll have it examined again. If possible, we'll do it. And issues like we cannot include all sports. If there are 15-20 people, chess is something will not cost anything, probably 200 rupees per board. If 20 people play chess, 4 boards about 800 rupees we will be able to manage. So there are efforts which have to okay, let him go on leave. So I have sort of changed that a bit. I said no, let them not go on leave, let them go on duty. So we're not paying TADF.